walking the path together, another day, walking in the sunshine of life, another day, walking with the infinite, another day, another chance, another opportunity. How great it is, how good it is, how good it is to have this opportunity to be together. So I'm super thrilled that you're here. My name, in case you didn't know, wait, it's right there. My name's right there. I'm John Jacob Mubarak. And I'm super grateful to be speaking with you today. And to have you here, I wanted to tell you some stories. Are y'all ready for some story time? All right. Well, first of all, we're going to tell you a little story. Story time. The idea of story time is basically the stories that we tell ourselves, right? I had an understanding of trauma recently that, you know, we say here at Rhythmia that it doesn't matter what happened to you. It's the same everywhere, right? Like it's the same whether you just didn't get held on time or you didn't get fed when you wanted to, or you were abused physically, mentally, sexually, like anything on this big spectrum, that it doesn't matter what the event was, but the event triggered a split in us, right? That's what we say here. And I had a new understanding around why that event, it doesn't matter what the stimuli was, it has the same effect, right? How could me not getting fed on time, or my personal story is me not feeling like I belong? How is that a feeling of not belonging? How does that equate to like being physically abused, right? Well, here's the deal. It doesn't matter what our trauma is. It matters the story we tell ourselves about it. That was a huge insight and understanding. It's what we tell ourselves about what happened. It's not what happened, it's what we tell ourselves. It's the stories we tell ourselves. And these stories that we tell ourselves, typically they take the form of limiting beliefs about ourselves. So, you know, using myself as an example, I didn't realize, I noticed this feeling coming up, this feeling like I don't really belong, right? Now, that's not true. Everywhere I go, my name is John Jacob, so everywhere I go, the people always shout, there goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Hey, let me say some shout outs to Petra, hello dear, and Milor, and Tara Lee, and This Little Light, and Shar, and Dorota, and Michael Stewart. Hello, greetings to all of you. Thank you. So here's this idea. I feel like I don't belong. That's not the truth, but there was this feeling, right? And I noticed this feeling. So just bringing our awareness to that feeling. Oh, I feel like I don't belong. And then, well, what is that about? Like, when do I first remember feeling like I don't belong? Oh gosh, like when I was really little, right? When I was little and my brothers and sisters wasn't abuse. They were just older. I was really the youngest and they were like 10 to 20 years older than me. And they were all like going out and doing stuff. And I'd be like, can I go with you? And they're like, no. Can I play Monopoly? No, right? You're too young. You can't do that. It wasn't traumatic, but the story of myself about it was I don't belong. And so who have I become as a result? Who did I become as a result of that? Well, I became a person with highly developed mirror neurons, and I would mirror back whatever the situation was. Hi, Lola and Adolfo. Hello. Great to see you. Coming in November. Awesome. I'll be here. Much love, Lola. And so the story, the event didn't matter. Something simple like, no, you can't come. You're too young. Big deal, right? It wasn't abuse. It wasn't anything that my family did to me, not blaming anybody. But the story I told myself was, I must not fit in. I must not belong. And so what do I need to do in order to belong? Well, I need to be whatever they want me to be, right? If it was my older brother or my older sister or the twins or my eldest sister, right? Each one had a little different thing that they needed in order for, or not that they needed, but that I would become in order to fit in with them. Right? And I just became really malleable, really adaptable, which was a beautiful thing on one level, but on another level, I didn't know who I was, because all I was a mirror of whatever the available means were in order to secure my belonging. And it became this performance personality, right? And now here's the thing. I don't have to give up who I've become, this big personality that, is fun and funny and tells jokes and, performing, right? I love that. Well, that came out of this split, but it's actually a blessing. Now that I see who I've become and why, now I can still be me, but it's not underwritten by a need to secure belonging, because I've seen this lie that I don't belong. That's the lie. So these are the stories that we tell ourselves. Can you look in your life and see, what are when you feel blocked in your life, the thing that's blocking you? I'm not getting this project done. I'm not making changes in my life that are for the better. What stories do we tell ourselves, right? The beginning is to notice the story. All there is to do is notice it. And as I notice the story, then I become aware of these limiting beliefs. And then I can check and see, are they true or not? Is this true? What's true here? And one great way of seeing what's underneath is saying, so how am I feeling? I'm not doing this project. I'm not making the changes in my life to help me physically with my health. I'm not making the changes in my life to help me, start a meditation practice or work out. Okay, when it comes, rubber meets the road, and it's time for me to do that activity or start on that project, what do I tell myself that stops me? What's that story? I don't feel like it. I don't wanna. Okay, what's underneath that? What's underneath I don't wanna? I don't wanna because I don't know how. Why don't I know how? Because everything that I'm doing is mirroring back something else, someone else, so that I can fit in, right? I don't know how, because all I know how to do is be what you want me to be. But this project is requiring me to dig something out of myself. So this is how we get into the story of the story. I'm looking at these comments. This is how we get into the story of our limiting beliefs. We start to begin to examine them. And all there is to do is bring it to the light. Oh, this is the belief that I've been carrying. That's about all there is to do. And then something begins to emerge little by little, more and more. Let's see what some of these comments are saying. I don't know, but someone CubSuck05 says hi. Hey, I'm not, sorry to all those Cubs fans out there. Okay, so, hey, Claudia from Colorado. Thank you. You're awesome too. Kayla, hello. Melissa, I'm sorry. Is the reception better for you, Melissa? This little light says, you need to belong, became being in purgatory between fear and failure and fear of success. Fear of failure and fear of success. That's a new realization. Beautiful. Yeah. My need to belong became being in purgatory between fear of failure and fear of success. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Janice, hello. Good to see you too. Thank you. Janice, beautiful. So that's a little bit about our stories, right? Now, these limiting beliefs, without them, there's a lot of uncertainty. Things become uncertain because I don't know who I am without these beliefs. Even though they're limiting me, even though they're causing me pain, who am I without that? So this is where we start to default back to the things that cause us pain, even though we know we want to shift them, we want to change them, we can't seem to get out of that loop. How do I get out of that loop? The first step is to, one, realize that there's going to be some discomfort. Like, let's just be real. This is work. They call it growth work. Not because it's growth vacation. It's growth work. And there's something here. There's something here for us to begin to see that it's going to be uncomfortable. So the next piece is to just realize I'm going to be uncomfortable. This isn't going to be a comfortable experience. And how can I be fierce in the face of this uncertainty? Fierce in the face of this uncertainty. The first way to do that is to preload, right? Preload these experiences. In other words, I know this is going to happen, so let me prepare myself for it. Let me prepare myself for being aware that I'm not going to be comfortable. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, that there's going to be some uncertainty, and that uncertainty is going to be uncomfortable. So now I know, okay, I've set a new intention, and I see my limiting belief that I can't because I don't want it, because I'm not good enough, and it's this fear of failure and fear of success that this little light talked about. And then also Char says, you literally told my story. Oh, wow. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Char. I think there's a lot of us out there that feel like we don't belong, right? And there's another piece. Hey, Patty, good to see you, man. I just had a conversation about you with your neighbor. So here's the other piece around this, being aware of the discomfort, right? Is that I'm going to I'm going to prepare myself for being a little bit uncomfortable. I'm going to prepare myself so that when it happens, I know what's going on. Now, there's another piece here, that when we are highly developed mirroring people, we're actually empathetic, we're empaths. And this is a means for securing belonging. For some folks that are suffering from abuse, it was a means of protection. Let me disconnect from myself so that I can mirror what's there in the environment for me to secure my belonging, or let me disconnect from myself so I can pick up. This is what Dr. Jeff talks about in his talk here on during the retreat called New Heart. He talks about this, that if I'm in an abusive situation, like my dad's an alcoholic, I'm going to disconnect from my emotions and connect with his, so I can figure out what mood he's in today. Do I need to run and hide, or do I go get him a beer? Do I get his slippers and turn on the TV and make sure that everything's perfect so I don't get hit, right? So it just depends. Am I doing it to secure belonging? Am I doing it for protection? But we develop this method, this sensibility to mirror other people so that we can be empathetic to them and forget our own emotions. And pretty soon we don't know who we are. And we feel lost. Like, I don't even know. What do you want? I don't know. I could go look online and see what other people want and go, oh, that sounds good. But I don't know what I want. If anybody feels like that, right? It's typically because we've developed these mirror neurons, this ability to mirror so profoundly that we've lost our own sense of self. But here's the truth. Because we've disconnected from ourselves. Here's the truth. We've disconnected from ourselves, but we're still true. There's still something true, something real, something eternal, something unchanging about who we are, the true you and the true me. So, let's see. Okay, I got it. Sorry. So how do we connect with that? Michelangelo said that he never created the statue. He said the statue was in the block of marble, and that all he did was remove everything that wasn't the statue, right? He saw the statue in the marble, and he just removed what wasn't it. Well, that's all we got to do. We see the story. Here's my limiting belief. Here's my limiting story. I start to realize that I'm mirroring people, either for protection or to secure belonging. And then I can begin to shine the light on the things that I am and remove the things that I'm not. So it becomes a subtractive process, removing the things that we're not. This is how we become more truly who we are. How do we become more of who we are? By removing that which we're not. So, okay, Char says, it is work and it led me to a split in marriage, but I see now why I have always had the relationships I've had. It's so hard, but necessary. Yes, right? We could become, this is the foundation of codependent relationships, right? Let me just mirror what I need is to feel like I belong to you. So I'm going to do whatever I need to make sure that we've secured that belonging. And most of the time that means putting your needs ahead of mine. Hi, codependent, right? So this is such an interesting, all there is to do is to bring awareness to this. All there is to do. Vegan Ninja, I want to thank you for your comments. I used to be vegan for a long time. I'm no longer vegan. And I respect everyone, right? And there's lots of different schools of thought. So I'm glad that this is a place where you can express yourself. And I support you in expressing who you are. And I support everyone in expressing who they truly are. I think that's our talk today. Story time. I guess I should tell you a story. You want to hear a story? Here's a story. All right. So, story time. Story. I went off a 150-foot cliff one time. Okay. Vegan Ninja Pirate, I appreciate you. And thank you for your opinion. I appreciate it. So I went off a 150-foot cliff one time. And I want to tell you this story. So I was in Strawberry, Arizona, driving this car, and basically, but you know what? I'm not going to tell this story. I'm just going to tell you that I love you guys and I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you're here. And we're going to tune in next time for Walking the Path. I'll be here at noon Pacific time on Thursdays. Walking the Path. Appreciate you all so much. If we're ever having a beer, I'll tell you the story about going off a 150-foot cliff. How about that? Okay. Thank you. Much love, much appreciation, and I'll talk to you later.